Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte, and we are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. When an inspiring rapper goes viral for all the wrong reasons, he thinks his career is over. But when his best friend gets them into a wild New York City after party, he gets one more chance to make the impossible happen. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this movie is tons of fun, largely in part because of how great the two stars are together, and luckily, that's exactly who I get to talk to just a few short minutes. Stars of The After Party, Kyle and Harrison Holzer are here. How about that, everybody? How we feel about that? Right? Come on. Look, we're going to get started in just a second. But before we do, I believe we have a trailer for the flick. Here's a fun game at home. See how many cameos you can count. It's pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and run that clip.
Hello, it's Young O. How you doing? Hi. I like all real shit in front of me and all bullshit aside. I've been sick with it my whole life and I ain't even die. Yo, wrote 100,000 raps and never had to lie. I watched Passion of the Christ twice and I ain't even cry.
Is that the flush of a record deal, Ramel?
Huh. Ramel is in LA. That's his intern, Bernard.
Get out the way, get out the way. Look, yo, we've been going hard for like 3 years.
Hey, Owen.
I got a show.
Owen is a rapper.
Oh, cute.
You either with me or...
Tonight, this show is gonna get us the deal.
You either with me or...
Tonight's about fate. It's about murdering that mic out there.
Win.
That's Wiz Khalifa.
Do you think?
Thanks, fam.
I know this will come as no surprise to anyone here, but Wiz Khalifa has some incredibly strong weed.
Young L's the one they know so well. Real recognize real, your name ring no bell. Yo, Wiz, this shit is strong. I'm smacked.
So they're calling him Seizure Boy, and they even have a seizure dance.
You're Seizure Boy.
Nah.
What am I doing?
Is it over for this guy?
Stick a fork in him, he's done.
What's the name hand, boy? Let it go.
Your rap career is not over. In 9th grade, I told you that if you let me be your manager, I would go ham for you. Tonight, the after party to end all after parties. Everyone in the game will be there. French Montana.
T Grizzly?
Yo, this is Pusha T. All you have to do is spit a fire verse and then we got ourselves a record deal.
You got a plan to get us in.
The kid always comes through in the clutch.
The kid rarely comes through in the clutch.
Yeah, she's got a point. The kid basically never comes through in the clutch.
If y'all want to get in here, come back with a whole lot of bitches. Or don't come back at all.
Do you want to come to the after party?
No. Shit.
What's the name hand, boy? Let it go.
Yo, that's the Seizure Boy, right?
Like Tesco. You can get... How do we get a record deal before the sunrise?
DJ Khaled!
Bro, you gotta chill, man.
Bless up.
Bless up. What's up?
Totally.
Guys, make some noise. Kyle and Harrison Holzer.
What's up, peeps?
How we doing?
Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us, man. Congratulations
Thank you.
on
Yes.
this fantastic film. I
thanks.
thoroughly enjoyed watching this and had so much fun with it. It's got like a super bad vibe, but it's got like all sorts of things going on. We're going to get to it in a second. I just would be remiss not to comment on the genuine love I just witnessed, not only between you and your fans, but you two could not stop quoting your favorite parts of the movie.
Oh, yeah. just kind of.
And just talking, it's fantastic. It speaks to what I was saying earlier, is that part of why this movie works and is so much fun is because it's watching you two play together and have such a great time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get right into it. How did you two come together? Have you always been this close?
You
Yes,
know what?
we've been
Yeah,
this
we
close
have
our
since
whole
birth.
life.
Since
Since
birth.
birth.
Yeah. Now we are separated at birth. You feel me? It was weird. Like we
Same
had
parents, though.
Same parents.
Yes.
Same parents. Just things turned out different a little bit
for both of us.
And yeah, I ended up, being like a rapper and stuff, and he ended up being out
More
here in New York.
handsome. No, yeah.
But
Right.
Kind of,
Yeah.
kind of. Some people would say, but not a lot of people.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Just
People
like,
would say it though.
Yeah, some people.
but
Some
just
people.
some.
Yeah, just some people. Like
It's up to-
people
it's
who
up
are
for
closest
debate.
to Harry would say that. Everybody
Right.
else would be like, Kyle's
Family.
clearly more attractive.
Right.
Right.
He tells you something. Okay.
But nah, for real, I met. It was one of the first auditions. The first readings was out here in New York, and I read with Harry. And off rip, I just remember feeling like
hella like just comfortable like sitting next to you.
Yes.
I know. I hope that's not weird.
No,
Is that
no,
weird?
it's-
Do
I mean, it's
that's
a little-
not
it's
weird to
okay.
anybody.
No,
All right,
it's
cool,
good.
cool, cool.
No, they're all sitting next to each other right now.
Yeah.
Six. True.
Exactly.
But I just remember feeling like, just very comfortable with like just talking to you, and like everything you said pretty much made me laugh from the jump. So whether we were gonna be in the movie or not, I knew like I'm gonna kick it with him.
Yeah.
Later for sure.
Regardless. I mean, the body language was just very on point, I think is what Kyle is
Do you
trying
remember
to
any
key
of
on.
those? Do you remember?
I mean,
Signals you were
we had
sending?
actually, yes, we had a little rap that we had to do together, which is actually
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of the movie because it's like a lot of cultures clashing, which is great.
Yeah.
But we had to sort of like sing the words, and we had this awkward little dance
Yeah, we had
with
to do
each
a
other,
dance.
little dance, and then finished off, and we were like, Eric B, make him clap to this, and Kyle just clapped twice,
And he went like this.
and I went like that.
And somehow the director saw that and was like, yeah, boom, that's
These
the
There's
movie.
the movie.
For
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. Question. We're on a live talk show, if you will, and you've just mentioned a quirky, weird dance that the two of you have.
Yeah.
Legally, I'm obligated to ask.
You want us to do a
You
quirky
want us
weird
to do
You
a
do
quirky
the
weird
dance.
dance?
It's not me.
I don't remember
It's
the
not me,
exact
it's
dance,
them.
but
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
like this?
It
Yeah.
was-
Something
we
like
were
that.
doing
Doing
something
this,
like this.
And
Okay,
then we were
Cabbage.
doing a little running man, bro.
And then you're running man. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay.
We were trying to be like 80s, you know what I'm saying?
And then we were obviously driving the car.
Driving the car.
Actually, we were
Driving the car.
And then we finished it off back there with the shopping cart. You know what I
Shopping.
mean?
We made it to the grocery store.
Obviously, we went to the grocery store.
The whole
like you
story.
said. And then we take pasta, some milk,
Yeah,
put that in
that
there.
too, you know
What
what I mean?
else? What else we need?
We need olive oil.
What are we missing from the
Got it.
pantry?
Got it.
Some other
Paper
stuff.
towel. You're out of paper towel.
Paper towels, for
Right.
sure. My
Paper
bad.
towel.
Diapers.
Always
We don't have kids. Why are we getting diapers? Who knows? It's all
Just in
good.
case.
And then we got to end
In
like that.
case. Like this.
There it is. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
Over here. She's got me.
You're awesome.
You're a real one. Everyone try to be more like her.
Enthusiasm. I love it. Thank
Everyone
you.
try to be more like her.
We're just gonna keep moving that goalpost. We're just
Yeah.
gonna. That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
In the history of people delivering on-demand quirky dances on talk shows, that's number one. You guys
so?
just
Thank
that
you.
was
Thank
one of
you,
the
bro.
best
Thank you,
I think
thank you,
I've
thank you.
ever.
We're
witnessed.
on-demand dancers in our spare time.
Yeah.
As weird as that
What
sounds.
does that look like? What is that?
Whoa.
about that.
Yo, pause.
Yeah, it came out a little wrong, but it's
But
fine.
hey, sure, why not? Why
Yes.
not? On-demand dancers. That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
On-demand.
it's a little weird when you say it like that. Yeah, it's a little weird.
I just got a lot of weird scenarios in my head.
We could keep exploring what that job really is.
Yeah.
Or we could.
No, let's
scroll
skip it.
through
Let's skip
Let's
that.
skip
Let's
it.
let's
Let's
jump
step over
over
that.
it. Let's
Step
talk
over
about
that.
the movie a little more.
After party, Friday.
After party.
Friday.
Let's talk about. So this was, and I was blown away by this. I was doing my research. This is your first time acting or leading a role or doing something like this, right? This
Definitely.
was all new to you, ever.
Yeah.
Was that scary at all coming into that? Like,
Oh my God, big scary. Oh, for sure. Cause I've spent so long working on music and trying to perfect that and be like as good of a rapper as I can that doing a film I didn't want to suck. You know what I mean? And especially my like first scene, doing it with like Harry. I mean, Harry's incredible. You know what I mean? And Harry is like been an This is an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like real deal. Like wakes up every day and lives this. Doing a scene with like Blair Underwood, right? Who's like an incredible actor.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's epic, and at the same time, it's hella nerve-wracking. But lucky enough, like everybody in the cast and like the director and everybody was so like easy to work with, and they were all rooting for me the whole time.
Yeah.
That instead of me really being nervous, I feel like I just got to step back and like learn from people who were really good at what they did.
Yeah.
And I feel like I improved like within like the first 20 minutes of like being friends with somebody like Harry. You know what I mean?
When he came in, did you do anything to either make him feel more comfortable, or did you lean into it and try to make him more uncomfortable?
Yeah,
What was your approach?
So like Kyle said, I'm an actor. Every morning I wake up in the mirror, I just look in it and I say I'm a thespian. That's literally what happens. I just stare in there and stare deep into my own soul. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, doing this movie with Kyle was incredible. I've worshipped Kyle as a rapper since I was like 13 years old. I mean, I tell him this story. I was playing Beautiful Loser, which is his first album, at my bar mitzvah.
Wow.
We were turning up to Beautiful Loser at my bar mitzvah. You know how it is.
That's wild.
Yes,
That's crazy.
absolutely. And I think the first time I met Kyle, actually, I went up to him and I told him, I'm a real fan. I love your stuff. And
You
I
did.
think you had that fake fan radar on. You were like, all right. What's your favorite song then? Bet you he was like thinking I was gonna answer I Spy or something like that. Like I Spy is my favorite song
for sure.
And then I said A-OK. which is
a bonus track on Beautiful Loser, my first
Yes.
tape I ever put out. And I was like, damn.
So-
That's when I knew it was like, I was like, bro, this is meant to be.
This is meant to be. We were meant to meet each other, honestly. And I mean, yeah, just doing this with him was a dream come true. We, within 6 weeks of knowing each other, it really felt like we were best friends through high school. So
Yeah, for real,
it was sick. It was
How
really
long?
cool.
How long did it take for you guys to make the film? How long did you get to run around New York City?
Like
and
3
all the
months,
shenanigans?
but longer.
7 weeks or something like that. I think it was
Yeah.
like the 29 days of shooting, so not too long, but it was the perfect amount of time, I think, especially for the atmosphere of the type of film we were making,
Yeah.
It does have like a hectic sort of. It all takes place presumably in one night.
Oh,
so
it's for sure
yeah.
hectic. It was for sure
So,
hectic.
yeah.
Shooting in, not that you asked this, but I
No,
thought
do
I
it, man.
should
No,
throw it
look,
in there.
we got
Why not?
time.
Why not
You
say it?
say what you want
Like,
to say.
from jumping from music to jumping into something like this, I have so much respect for people who make films, and not only just the actors that are in it, but the 200-something people who are on set busting their tail from the break of dawn until the wee hours of the morning to get one magic moment. It's such a huge production. It made me, I was like, man, this has, music has nothing on this. I've never seen people work this hard. And it was very hectic, because you brought up the word hectic, so.
It's a great
Yes.
word. From the as an
Fantastic
artist,
word.
as a performer, were you surprised at all? Was there any overlap? Was there something you're like, oh, okay, this is a different world, but this thing right here is just like when I got to do this over in the studio, or this moment, what I have to, or no, was it all alien?
You know what? I'm gonna say the only thing that was similar was when we were shooting the scene where I'm supposed to be performing at the Meadows.
Where you rap.
That's the only thing that was
right.
kind of the same. And even that was harder. You know what I mean? So
was a
now I
good
really
scene.
give it up to people who make films. This thing is intense. I don't know how The Rock makes so many movies and you know what I mean? I feel like The Rock is dropping a movie every month.
The Rock has a clone, bro.
Yo, for
You just
real.
haven't
The
met him
Rock
yet.
has 3 other Dwayne Johnson.
other
Yeah, there are 3 other Dwayne
Sure.
Johnsons just roaming around. You just don't know about them. Kyle, it's an actor thing.
Yeah, true.
There's 4 other Harrys that he has that are just hanging out right back.
Hanging out at your crib right now?
Right at my
chilling?
crib, just
Just
chilling,
swap 'em
ready
out.
to go.
Do they have different tasks that they got to do throughout the day or no?
Occasionally, yes.
Occasionally,
yeah.
okay.
It's mostly just getting coffee and playing Fortnite, though. To be
Yeah.
real with you, that's what most of the time consists of for the multiple Harrys.
Talk to me about your character, man, because there is this line that you have to straddle between over the top, obnoxious, and charming and endearing, and you ride it right down the middle, man. Where you always love this dude, and you'll just say a couple of things or one little mannerism here or there, and you're like, man, if he wasn't so funny, that'd be really annoying. But it never gets to you.
Yeah,
He's always
100%.
right down the middle.
That's what Kyle and I were talking about too when we were starting this movie. It was really important to sort of show both sides of Jeff, because Jeff just has no filter whatsoever, which leads him to just say whatever he wants at any point in time, which can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. Often it's really bad for Jeff, but luckily he has this sort of sweet nature to him, which, his heart's always been in the right place. It's just he wants to be so cool and wear so much Gucci and Fendi and Prada and whatever he can get his hands on that he sort of lost sight of who he actually is as a kid. So, I think it was more just, finding that heart that Jeff has, especially for his best friend right here. I mean, he loves this guy unconditionally,
thank you, man.
absolutely unconditionally. So
Was there ever, did that take a lot of time to find? Did it take a lot of work? Were there scenes where you'd do it, you'd go back and watch it and go, I got to play it more this way or stuff like that?
Well, Kyle and I, we had the liberty of playing around a lot with the scenes, which I think was so helpful for us. Yeah. We could sort of just improv as much as we wanted, to the point where I remember we were doing one scene, I forget which one it was, but we literally just did not know the lines. We had no idea what the lines were. We were just improvising, being like, what scene are we on? I don't know, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And Ian, our director, comes up to us and he's like, my guys, look, I love everything you're doing. It's great. My hitters, my guys, it's amazing. One quick note, you haven't said anything that's on the paper. Literally, my words, not using them. So if you could maybe do that, that would be great, So that became the model for the movie.
That is awesome, though, that there was that freedom to mess around and do that. For some actors embrace the idea of ad-libbing. Some are really intimidated by the idea of having to do that in the moment. Well, I want to get both sides. This is your first time in general. Were you married to the words, and then they were like, just don't use them? Was that liberating? Was that scarier?
Yeah, it was. You know what? It was liberating, but it kind of it didn't piss me off all the way, but I kind of thought, man,
What I remember.
I spent all this time, because I was scared, right? So I wanted to leave a good impression.
I've never heard that side.
I was the only rapper, at first, with all the actors. So I was like, okay, I need to really be on my stuff. Because you already had all your lines memorized. I was like, okay, damn, I need to, learn all of them.
Make it easy.
And then once I had them memorized, he would come up to us and be like, yeah, you know what? This part, you just scratch a whole line. He's like, I don't like this. I was like, I spent so much time working on that part. I was like, you sure you want to cut that out? And yeah, so it became liberating, but at first I was kind of like, damn, I kind of invested my all into knowing these lines. But then it really like, once it got to the point where me and Harry had kicked it so much that we had our own inside jokes at that point.
Yeah.
Then once we had the liberty of just like freestyling, it became natural, you know what I mean? He was calling people warlocks.
Absolutely.
We were just going with the flow.
White Walkers.
Yeah, White Walkers.
Whatever I could get my hands on.
Whatever we could think about.
Whatever mouth diarrhea we'd throw. I mean, yeah, it was great.
You can't talk about this movie without talking about some of the cameos. I had to write down. There's just so many. Like we see Wiz in the trailer. I think we saw DJ Khaled in the trailer. There's so many others. Did I write down?
Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. French Montana.
T Grizzly.
DMX.
Yes.
Jadakiss.
Yeah, Jadakiss was in there.
Yep.
Pusha T. There's so many people in this movie.
Kyle.
Go more. I was good. Kyle. Harry Holzer.
Harry Holzer.
You guys are there too.
Check my
Here's
IG.
here's the question. How many of those were locked in when you guys got to be a part of the project? Did it build over time? Every time you got a new name where you're like, holy shit, Push is going to do it too?
Yeah. We were... I think there was only a couple of people that were like completely locked into the storyline. Like obviously Wiz Khalifa needed to be there and French Montana was already like locked down.
Yeah, those guys.
But
those are key.
I felt like it was almost like a damn raffle. Like we would like randomly every day there would be a new person that we heard was going to be in the movie.
Yep.
I think as we were shooting it, the excitement kind of like spread across the hip hop community, and they were able to reach out for more people to all be a part of it. I didn't know Jadakiss was going to be a part of it until like the morning of, and I'm like Jadakiss's biggest fan. So as you can, I was freaking out, you know what I mean? Sweating, everything. I was like, dude, you need to give me 72 hours to prepare for something like this. You know what I mean?
I got to prepare for Jadakiss.
Dude, I need to prepare for Jadakiss. Like, and then me and Harry, we would just actually, like in our free time, spend a lot of time just like calling the producer, almost like prank calling the producer and using like different accents to disguise ourselves as other people and just be like, yo, if you don't put like T Grizzly in the movie, we're going to break your legs. You know what I'm saying? We were just trying to like threaten him until we put more and more people.
Bad if you don't put this person in the movie.
Yeah, we're like, we need designer in the film. You have 24 hours. And we just hang up.
We didn't get to deliver
Sorry,
a sod,
Jake
though.
Stein.
Jake
Sorry, Jake
Stein.
Stein.
Yeah, shout
we
out
bothered
Jake
you
Stein.
a lot. We're sorry, bro.
But you still didn't deliver a sod.
And you didn't deliver a sod. We wanted a sod.
And we're still upset about
and we're
that.
big upset.
Yes.
So you better not see us.
Yes.
It's a problem.
It's a real issue that we have with you. It's a lot of bad
You
things.
look like Dracula in the daytime.
You really do. Like a daytime Dracula.
That was Harry's line.
Yes, it was.
Harry came up
I'm
with
very proud of that line.
It's funny as hell.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
You're welcome.
You're a great person.
Can we please applaud just how ridiculous? That's not as easy.
We got that back and forth.
Yeah, we should start a rap group, bro, straight up.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Honestly,
stopping
we
you.
dropped a
But
diss track on my
I'm
DM.
not going to add you onto the Kyle thing because that's already
Absolutely
going
not.
really good, and I wouldn't want to
Okay.
risk that, but we'll
All
make
right.
something brand new. You feel
We'll
me?
do something brand new, yeah. You're going to need an alter ego, too,
Yeah,
though.
alter ego, yeah.
I'll be the Hebrew Hammer. You'll think
The
of something.
Hebrew Hammer?
You'll think of something. I'm the Hebrew Hammer, though. Coming in hot.
Like,
The Hebrew Hammer.
Hebrew Hammer's a
there's
good
something
rap
there.
name. Yeah.
There's something there.
So
for sure.
you got to figure your stuff out, and then hit me up, or hit my agent up, and then we'll figure some times
cool.
to
If you could
go to the
workshop
studio.
some stuff for me, though.
Workshop some stuff?
Yeah, workshop some
Up in
stuff.
here?
Up in there.
Okay.
Because you're my
I'll
manager.
get back to you.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're my
I'm also your
so
manager.
That's your job.
Thinking about a rap career now, Kyle. You know, it's just it's a lot of thoughts.
So this will be separate from the world tour that you just announced, then.
Yes,
This
it
is
will.
not-
Yes, it
okay.
will.
Okay.
World
You want to
tour.
plug that
Thank you.
tour?
World
Really? You want to
tour.
talk about
World
that tour
tour.
real quick?
Let's go. Who wants to
Yeah,
world
what?
tour?
World tour, real quick.
Yeah, yo.
tour.
So I'm going on my very first world tour. It's called the Lightspeed Tour. I'm going to Europe. I'm going to Asia. I'm going to Australia.
You been to any of those places before?
You know what? I've never been to Europe before. No,
Really?
not once. And I got family in Europe too. I got family from like Cardiff, which is in Wales, which is weird. I also, but yeah, I know it's weird. But I've been to Japan once before as a fan. I also have a lot of family out in Japan, so shouts out to them. And I'm going to Australia too. Never been there. So it's big, exciting stuff for me. Like, I've been waiting my whole life to go do a show somewhere overseas. You know what I mean? Like, ever since I was like 10, 11 years old, like, I was dreaming, like, when I first heard Kanye say, I'm on a world tour with Common My Mans, all I could think about was, like, having a friend to shout out, like, I'm on a world tour with Harry My Mans. Like, I wanted to do the exact same thing. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited. Lightspeed, world tour, coming soon. Marky Basie, Toby Lou.
Hebrew Hammer.
Hebrew Hammer.
Just
Of course.
announced.
Just
Hebrew
announced.
Hammer.
Hebrew
Only
Hammer has joined the
exclusive.
tour.
Limited
That's
dates
exclusive.
only. A couple
Very
cities.
limited dates. Very
Jerusalem.
limited dates. Jerusalem.
That's it. Just one place. Just
I think
one
this is,
place.
actually, this is it. This is the date. This is it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
The one date.
We're
Yeah.
going right now.
Okay.
We're gonna
I
fly
just
to
booked a
Jerusalem.
flight. My clone just booked a flight, actually. Yeah.
Oh, you have
yeah,
one?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, book me one
Fly
too, because
out.
I don't have any clones.
Nah, bro. Nah. You can do one thing at a time, you know.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'll do it right
So
now.
just do it right now.
We got 3 questions. We're gonna take them from the audience. I could have you up here for hours, man. You guys are amazing. Let's get
Thank
those
you.
audience
Oh,
questions
man.
real quick
Thanks,
though.
dude.
Before we do, a reminder: After Party premieres August 24th. That's a Friday on Netflix. That's this Friday on Netflix.
people.
This
all right,
Friday.
so check it
This
out.
Friday.
After
This
Party.
Friday.
It's this and more. So you're gonna watch it. I know you are, but I'm telling you anyway. All right, this
Yes.
Friday After Party. All right, let's get them
Yes.
questions. We got microphones. First one is right here.
Audience questions?
Hi, this question is for Kyle. I
What's
know
up,
you're a
man?
rapper,
Thank you.
but I was wondering, was the approach to acting any different than how you approach the music?
That's a really good question. I would say that, like, my initial approach to music when I was like a little kid, and I didn't necessarily know how I was going to become a musician, but I wanted to be a part of it. Very similar to the acting thing, because I just showed up with an optimistic attitude. Like, I know I'm gonna do a good job. I don't know how yet, but if I focus and I really try to take tips from everybody else around me that's already been doing this for years, I'm going to turn out doing a good job. So I guess in that sense, I prepared the same amount of way, the same amount of effort I put into, preparing rapping and albums and tour planning and all that stuff. I feel like I would like to say I tried to go equally as hard in preparing for doing this with acting coaches and just staying up all night just watching actor interviews. I didn't know how else to prepare. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think just the level of focus was the same.
Did you take anything back with you now that you've done this film? Do you take anything back to going to music? Like, oh, I learned this making the film. I could apply that.
Oh, definitely.
Here,
I would
yeah.
say that teamwork in the film world is so vital, and it's so important to have so many people operating on all cylinders. I'm bringing that to my music career now, and just needing myself included and everybody else involved in my music career to all be killing our jobs at this exact same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yes. Very, very vital. Very vital.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were about to. You were just.
I was just gonna say a well-oiled machine. I don't know why I want to say that, but I just did. Well-oiled machine. It feels like that's the line that needed to be said.
Yeah, that works. That works. That works
you.
perfectly.
Yeah, yeah, it works great.
It
Thanks.
conjures up an image.
It does. It does.
Perfect.
It provokes thought. That's what it does.
Well, to that end, let's get some more thoughtful questions. We got 2 more. It looks like it's going to be right here.
Hi.
Go for it.
First of all, we just got our tickets for Lightspeed this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Woo! What city? New York?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So my question is for both of you, and it's what did you guys learn about yourselves working on this film?
What do we learn? Okay. Well, what I learned about myself was that, first of all, I loved hip hop a lot more than I originally thought. Coming into this movie, it was definitely a huge passion of mine, but it wasn't the number one for me. It was always about acting. But I think doing this movie, meeting Kyle, working with these people, for me, hip hop sort of began to take over my life in a crazy and awesome way. I would just wake up and start, binging albums and just listening to as much music as I could. I got really into it. So maybe
really
unhealthily into it. Really into Lil Pump.
Yeah, you got huge into Lil Pump.
I was big into Lil Pump, much to Kyle's happiness, I want to say.
Yeah, it was epic. We bonded over that.
I would come through bumping Molly every night at around what was it, 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd start bumping Lil Pump at 2 a.m. to wake ourselves up, and by 4 a.m. we were playing 4 a.m. by
4
Travis
a.m.
and 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz, and we had a little dance that we did every night actually because people would get sleepy a little bit, so we'd have to wake up, get those vibes up, get the energy up. So we'd run around just performing 4 a.m. in front of random people.
And he's being for real. He's not lying. We had a little speaker, and we would take it everywhere to pipe the whole cast.
Were there similarities or
Literally.
differences to the dance we saw earlier? Is it like that dance? Is it modified? Describe it. Use your words.
It's
A
well-oiled
lot more arm
machine.
flailing in the 4 a.m. one, I want to say. I think the first one was a little more organized. The 4 a.m. is more just move your body in as many possible directions as you can and just wake people up. It doesn't matter what you do, but sing along as well.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't really criticize style and form. You know what I mean? It's strictly about passion.
Exactly.
Was there anything you wanted to add to the question of what you learned about yourself or anything like that?
Yeah.
Use the words well-oiled machine,
Definitely.
perhaps? Yeah.
Well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled
Got it.
machine.
And I learned that like, for a long time, like working on music for so long, it almost becomes like something that is like, it just becomes so routine to you that you don't necessarily get the same excitement that you did when you first started doing it. You know what I mean? And with this, I guess what I learned is that like, I still have so much to learn. There's still so many things for me to be excited about and like so many things for me to wake up every day energized about because like I just did my first movie and it's like it's coming out and I never knew that I could be an actor, but now I can. And now I noticed I just started. Like there's still so far for me to like, there's so far for me to reach. And it's almost like it's like starting a brand new video game and being on like mission 1, you know what I mean? But I thought my entire career, I was like, I'm already on mission 35. Like it pretty much just goes downhill from here. And now I guess that's what I learned about myself is that if I put my mind to it, there's so many things that I'm capable of that I never knew I was capable of. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
That's a valuable lesson, man. That you could think that you're on mission 35, that alone, and then find yourself suddenly on mission 1.
On mission 1.
Yeah,
like every day you wake up is a new opportunity to like learn something that you're gonna work at for the rest of your life.
That's cool.
If you wanted to go be a painter tomorrow randomly, you might be raw at it. You don't know.
Go paint.
Go
next
try.
Van Gogh.
You know what I mean?
Right there, looking at you. You're the next Van Gogh, I can tell.
Yes.
Please help our generation.
One final question right over here. Let's go for it.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hello.
You guys were mentioning how you've been getting more into each other's wheelhouses of skill and talent, I guess. So I was wondering, for Kyle, who's your favorite actor? And Harrison, who's your favorite rapper?
Well done.
It's a great question.
Yeah,
my favorite actor is probably like a split decision between. It's so hard. It has to be between like it's 3 people. It's either like Will Smith, Robert Downey Jr., or Denzel. One of them. I'm sorry. It's like equal. Really, Will Smith is the winner. He's the winner of that because I grew up watching so many Will Smith movies and it's like every single scenario has somebody. But you like those guys? Is that a bad? Sorry. I don't know. I just grew up loving his movies and I
top Will Smith movie.
Like him.
Favorite
top
one.
Will Smith.
Put
movie
it in any day of the week.
I would say probably like either Independence Day or Pursuit of Happiness.
Wow. I did not expect that 50-50.
Because
no, you run the whole gamut.
You know what I'm saying? I like variety, and it's like he can either be blowing up aliens or he can be making you cry. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. You're a hot
Okay. So favorite hip hop artist. I gotta say for me, I gotta give credit where credit's due, baby. It's gotta be Kyle. Kyle, you're the first person I listened to. Kyle is the first rapper I genuinely ever listened to, and that's a fact. That's true. It's a fact.
That's
but
crazy.
Also,
thank you, bro.
Let's argue.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure.
People at home.
Wanted people at home. It's a fact. But then also, I gotta say, for me, it's 2 people. It's Rocky and Drake. Those are my 2. I went back and just listened to all of Rocky's albums, all the Mav's albums too, which are just so incredibly fire. And then also, Drake. Just take care. Just drop the mic and take care. I could easily just drop the mic and be like, look, just go listen. Do yourself a favor. Marvin's Room. Oh, man.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
I cried to that song.
I cried to that song, too.
Damn, really?
Yeah,
That's
100%.
wild. Was it after?
I thought about all the girlfriends I never had, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, wow, I could have so many girlfriends right now, and I just have 0. This is unfortunate. Yeah,
I got broken up with and cried about it, so. Yours is cooler than mine.
Yeah.
Like,
you win.
Mine just killed the room. Like, it was just like, damn, bro, for real?
It was more like, man.
Yeah, you need help, bro?
You need a hug, man?
Hey, somebody hug that man.
Well, that's as good a place as any, I guess, to end this. That's
After party.
Yes.
Friday.
Go watch it and someone give this guy a hug.
Yeah, please. Somebody give this man a hug. I want to thank you guys again for being here and hanging out with us and just being so much damn fun. Thank you, guys. That was wonderful.
Thank you, bro.
Make some noise to thank them. August 24th. August 24th as Friday. Check it out. After party. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise. A ridiculous amount of noise. And thank Kyle Harrison for being here right now.
Dracula.
Thank you.